Hi everyone, welcome to the Friends of Ramal Island show. We would like to share the presentation which we shared with all of our members during our social last week and want to talk to you about what we have been doing on the Ramal Island over the last year and the plans for the future with a little surprise in the end.
Hi, I'm Tara, and Nivi and I were walking about in March 2024, and we just had this epiphany that we wanted to do more on the island. And I have a paddleboard business there, and I go on it all the time, and I just felt I just want to get my hands in that soil and make a difference, bring more colour, more diversity, and really feel that feel more part of the island rather than just a passerby. And Nivi said, let's do it. So we contacted the new council at the time. They were really open to us creating volunteer groups and just working, just doing what we want, our ideas. We passed our ideas onto the island. We'll show you how we did that to the council. And we began. And straight away we met Chosin, who's the one above in the pale, the whitish jacket, and she's a landscape architect with a difference. She's absolutely so pro nature and every expert on all things to do with plants. She immediately said yes, she's on board. So she comes from Ascot, bless her. And then a few months later, we had David Walker, who is a local as well. I met him at my yoga class for Parkinson's, and he wanted to get on board. And being a businessman himself in the past, he wanted to leave a legacy behind, and he's joined, and he's just incredible. He's the fourth leg of we call our board, our table, and we are just so excited to share with you what we've been up to.
As Tara explained, we started with the help of the Royal Borough of Windsor and Maidenhead, because they've been involved with us right from the beginning, where we have actually looked at the projects. So the green projects are the ones that are to do with all the plants and the trees, and blue projects are the ones which are to do with things like sanding the benches, some arts and crafts that happens on the island. But what we do is have all of these projects very nicely placed in Google document for the Royal Borough to have a look and approve. So as I said, these are the green projects, there are some blue projects, and this is all the behind the scenes activity that has happened. And Shoshan, the landscape architect, actually draws the designs of what it's going to look like. So it's easier for the council members and the staff to understand what the plan is, and then for them to approve it. And then, we have had lots of different projects there, like dry hedging, naming the trees. And also we've done a lot of work at the back end for the website. We've created a website, social media, YouTube channel that you guys are watching now. So that's all been done also in the background. And we collaborate with lots of local organizations. So we are part of the Wild Maidenhead. We come under their umbrella, but we are in partnership and collaboration with Wild Cookham, Paddleboard Maidenhead, which is a strong supporter with Tara leading it, Good Gym, SD Landscapes, which is Shoshan's organisation, Artspiration, and so on.
Our year's work has been beautifully recorded in this infographic, which we have on several places on the island. And you can see the blue projects, like we did had the benches sanded and painted. We've created some beautiful artwork on one of the fence posts. We have done some hopscotching. We'll go into those as we've got some beautiful photos of that. But we have increased biodiversity by adding 90 different species of plants. We have a fantastic walking group. Everything is on that. If you come to the island, you will see these and you can read them. They're all like, we've really made an effort to show people what we've been up to. This was a fun project, and it was over a period of, because we generally work on Saturday afternoons, that's our volunteering, so we had to cut the hedges for the dry hedging. And this is It's a very, very beautiful area in the summer. We're leaving it up now in the winter because it creates some structure, and that's where all the little bugs live during it. But this is to stop people walking in there, stop dogs as well and children, and it allows the rewilding of a small area of the island. And we're very, we have a whole YouTube channel just on this area and the value of rewilding. Great. So a special thanks to some volunteers that have come every single week. We have Paul and Lynn, and they maintain the Bolters Lock borders, and they came and sprinkled their seeds and added their plants they have grown to around the Vintage Boys. That's the first bed as you come into the island. Then we also have Kathy of Mill Head, who allowed us to thin out her plants, and we paddleboarded them back to the island. That was a fun one. Good Jim, who really turn up every single session we have, and incredible group of volunteers who spread their love all over Maidenhead. And then my paddleboard club, they doing different, they're also involved. So we're just really grateful for these people that give us so much time on the island.
This is our Friday Walk and Talk, a fantastic initiative led by David Walker. This brings all the local active seniors together every Friday since we started on the 7th of February. And last Friday was the 36th consecutive Friday that everybody gathered together. And every week we have at least 6 to 7 people, and then it goes up to 17, which was a record number that we had last Friday. Everybody gets together, go for a walk, sit at the Bolters, the Boathouse, which is a restaurant, for a coffee, and get together, which is a very, very nice social activity for the active seniors of this area.
One of the first things I did for the island was to contact Craft Coop. I know the wonderful work that they do, and asked them if they wanted to make some birds, because we have a lot of people with learning difficulties and young children, and it's really hard to find a woodpecker or to spot a kingfisher. So around the small animal area, we have added, they've made them and we've installed them up in the trees for children or anybody to find, and that's been a really fun, adding colour, beauty, and some education.
This project is very close to my heart. There are these pathways where the animals are, which are quite drab, and I thought, well, it would be lovely to just add some colour, add some activity there for the children to come and play. So we designed a few things like a hopscotch, frog hop, pop the bubbles, and we had Good Jim come there, and in one evening we sketched everything out, we painted everything, and we were ready for kids to have fun. Special thank you to Good Jim here and Lucy Hayward, whose idea it was to actually paint ladybirds on the hopscotch.
What better way to create a first impact? We wanted to immediately bring colour to the back of the toilets, and I knew Virginia, who's setting up her own mural business, and we approached her and said if she was willing to paint this, transform this area, and it really has done, and it took a year to complete. So congratulations, happy day murals. So David and I contacted the artist Eunice Goodman. This was created 36 years ago, and I'm sure she doesn't mind saying, but she's in her late 80s and was really worried about the damage around the Maiden and Swan. And we invited her to the island, and she did a wonderful presentation to us all about how she came up with the idea. And in that group was Richard Grant. He's a local artist, sculptor, filmmaker, and he said, I'll do it. He put his hand up and said, I'll do it. And then somebody else, the Clegg, said, we'll donate some money. And then we've continued to raise money, and it had to be refilled in. And it was a really complicated process, but we did it. And it took probably probably a week, with scrubbing, cleaning, filling, and painting with a bronze paint to make it shiny and new. So it should last another 36 years. And it's our latest, most recent contribution to the island. Wow, what a day. It just happened to be Rewilding Day when Ardmore decided they wanted to have a corporate social environmental day for their team. and it meant that we had to suddenly invest, thank you to David there with the wheelbarrow, in some plants and some tools, and now we're all equipped for bigger groups. And they came along, removed 3 tons of soil from the mid path, if anybody knows the mid path that runs through the island, and we cleared a lot of area and added a lot of different plants. It was a full day, a warm day, and it made a tremendous difference to the island, just one day with so many people.
The arty crafty project. So there was this wooden panel on the island which looked really drab and dull, and it was Tara's idea, right, let's spruce this up a little bit. So I thought about Artspiration, who's a local art school, and they teach young children to draw and paint. So what we did was we, with the help of Clement's tree surgeons, sliced some of the wood that was already available on the island, provided it to the children, and the kids did a fantastic job of drawing and painting these wonderful, amazing creatures, woodland creatures on them, which were then installed by Tara and David on this wooden panel. So thank you, Artspiration, and thank you, Tara and David. It's important for everybody around in Maidenhead to understand what Friends of Raymond Island are all about, and also to know what we've been up to. So we've had consistent PR in our local newspaper thanks to Jade Kidd, who's one of our local reporters, who's been sending photographers to the site and writing articles about everything that's been happening on the Raymond Island. So you saw everything that we've done so far on the island, and we are super excited to talk to you about what we've planned to do next year, so coming year, the second year projects. There are some projects that we will continue with for next year, and there are some exciting new projects that we will be launching in the new year. So we will definitely be continuing with planting the flower beds. So we want to have hardy evergreen plants, and we keep weeding the existing flower beds as well to get rid of any of those nasty weeds that we don't want there. We want to continue to do the tree trail and signage. So all the volunteers who have been coming to help us will be coming along. Any new volunteers, always welcome. We have a session almost every Saturday afternoon on the island, so please come and join us. We are also planning to restore some benches and picnic tables by sanding them, painting them, making sure that they're all good and well looked after. And then for the new year, we have a few new projects. We have a key project, which is the stream restoration project, and you can see these beautiful drawings that Shoshan's pulled together. There is a lot of potential where the stream is at the minute, but there is a lot that needs clearing first, and then we can plant some native plants there to make sure that the stream doesn't just clog up and is healthy. It's quite ecological, it has all the organisms that need to be in that stream to keep it healthy as well, along with all the plants that are needed for that area.
Another key project this year, we have permission now this is the area you'll recognise. It's very overgrown. Probably used to have animals in there, but we are going to take it over, and we're going to make our own nursery so that we can grow our own plants, and we could possibly sell them for donations towards get tools and things that we need for the island. You will notice that there is an area, it's by the composts, and it's by some big hippo sacks where we remove that soil we were talking about from the mid pathway, and we do need some help here. We need to find arborists with giant chippers, and we're going to clear this area, and we'll keep some of it for deadwood insects to thrive, and then we can transform it into something else. But we are going to work. Be patient with us. We are going to be clearing this area and return it to some beauty. Another key initiative is that to create some funds for the island, because we have an awful, as you know, you probably have a lot of visitors at weekends and they're not spending much money on the island, and we would love them to be able to support the projects that we have going on and to buy bigger plants and things that we need. So we have given permission that I think it's going to be in spring. We're going to have a farmers market, and from here, if it goes well, if it's received well, it'll be local businesses, sustainable as much as possible, and we'll invite community groups to come along. That it'll be perhaps something that will continue once a month, but we're just going to give it a go, and this will be in the small animal area, but be well advertised. We'll let you know when it's happening. So I met somebody, Leah actually, and she was doing a beautiful painting picture, her interpretation of the Maiden Swan, and we've asked her to come on board to bring some colour to the bridge by the Maiden Swan. And this is we thought about the adults with disabilities and the children, something tactile, something very sensory. And on this fence, we're going to have these wood slips that will rotate, and they will depict some of the flowers that you can see across by the dry hedge. Look out for this. This will happen, be ready for June next year, we hope. We would love to have more families involved in the restoration of the island. So one of the ideas we have is Rainbow Rangers to come along. We're thinking it's probably going to be a Saturday morning. We'll let you know, or you contact us through our website. And this will be where parents can come and participate with helping us create a better environment for the children. At the same time, the small children can do some lovely little nature art-based workshops, and also these will be hopefully available for the children during the summer holidays.
Now for the surprise elements. We have some amazing news for everyone.
Our surprise that we are the first grant that we've applied for. We have been awarded a lovely £5,000, which will go towards restoring our stream. It's the beginning. We don't know how much it will, how far it will go, if it will go as far as the pond towards the Maiden, but we're very excited that we can get going with this in the spring. Also, the Wildlife Gardens Award, we got awarded silver this year, I think, with all that extra planting and the huge amount of increase in insects that we've seen, especially around these plants and the dry hedge area. I think we're definitely creating more habitats and more food for the birds, the bats and the bees.
And with everything that's been happening on the island, we thought it only fit to award some of the special people who have come and helped us right from the beginning and throughout the year with various projects. So we have our very own Friends of Rainbow Island Awards.
There we go. Here they're coming up now. We are going to give the for bringing colour, joy and transformation goes to the Butterfly Award for bringing colour, joy and transformation goes to Virginie of Happy Day Murals. Thank you very much for all your endless hard work.
The Robin Award for spreading warmth, friendliness and community spirit goes to our very own Sheila Attenborough, who is part of Good Gym, Craft Coop, Wild Maidenhead, Friends of Rainbow Island, lots of different associations.
Okay, the Wildlife Award for Natural Beauty and Diversity and Thriving Whenever Planted is for Paul and Lynn, who do much more than just Rainbow Island. They do the borders outside Bolters, and they collect the seeds, they water everything. They're doing an incredible job, say outside of the Bolters Lock, and they contribute hugely on the island too. So thank you very much, you two.
The Water Lily Award for bringing peace, balance and calm to the team goes to Annette.
The Acorn Award for new volunteers who show great potential and promise goes to the Cowdery brothers, Sam, Cowdery and Nick.
The Maple Leaf Award for vibrant contribution and adding colour to every project goes to Richard Grant.
The Bumblebee Award for tireless hard work and teamwork goes to, of course, Good Jim of Windsor and Maidenhead.
The Hive Award. Now this is for families who work together with teamwork, energy and care, and that goes to the Hayward family.
The Rare Sunshine Award for positivity and uplifting others goes to Rajan and Renu.
And the Oak Award, right? For strength and reliability, without whom Friends of Rainbow Island would only be a three-legged table and we couldn't be stable. And that is our very own
David Walker.
So on behalf of all of us at the Friends of Rainbow Island, thank you very much. And may this journey continue with the support of everybody who's been supporting us so far. There are also lots of organizations who are supporting us. So Paddleboard Maidenhead, SD Landscapes, Good Gym, Face to Face Maidenhead. But you can find information about all of these organizations on our website also.
And we are delighted that Shosa, as you can see in the photo, is going to be joining us. Even though she lives in Ascot, she's going to continue her expertise on the computer and working the earth with us and leading these projects, many of these projects, getting them up and going for us. So we're really, really grateful she's going to continue her hard work. So from us, over and out, and please share this video with others because we want to there's a couple of things we want to do. We want to raise more money. We've got lots of ideas. We need manpower, don't we? We also have got a website. We'd love to, and follow us on social media. It's Friends of Rainbow Island or Rainbow Island, and our YouTube video and our website. So if you would like to contribute in any way with your energy on our Rainbow Rangers, anything at all, please do look us up and you can email and call us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.